What is up, Robyn? How are you? It's lunchtime vibe with me and Robyn. What's up, Bills Mafia? I am me. She is Robyn. We are here. We are on the Build in Buffalo Network. This is tea time with Robyn. I kind of messed it up a little bit, but it's all good.
Yeah, you can do what you want.
Yeah, I can do what I want.
Do what you want.
What's up? How you doing?
Good. I'm glad this preseason is over.
I'm glad
we have our roster established. We have so much to talk about today.
We do, because Bills Mafia's panties are in a bunch, and we got to talk about it.
Please, let's go.
What's so funny is this. Let me just add these things real quick. I find it hilarious that sometimes Robyn and I have to come in here and chastise you guys. And we don't want to have to do it, because we are Bills Mafia as well. But sometimes y'all get so, oh my God, what's going on? And we have to come in here and say, hey,
chill.
Calm down. Okay? Calm down.
Chill, Bill.
But before we get into that, a preseason game was had, and I'm so happy, like Robyn said. Preseason is finito, and it's over. I am so happy. I'm so happy. They won, which is awesome. They bounced back from that debacle in Chicago to have a great preseason game. The fans can see, players look good. And talk to me, Robyn, about the preseason that you saw, the game that you saw.
Against the Bucs, it was much better for a variety of reasons. Buechele, I like. I'm glad he is the practice squad quarterback. I think he's excellent in that role. The execution by the players was much better. But that also might be, and when I listened to Bobby Babich talk after the Bears game and then this game, I think he saw that, I have to put at least somewhat of a game plan in place. Otherwise, these guys don't know what the heck they're doing. And you could see the difference between the Bears game and the Bucs game, because there was a little bit better flow to the defense. There was better flow. And I would be remiss, because get ready. You're going to hear this from me probably, I hope, every week from now until eternity. I'm going to talk about my love, Deon Walker, because he had himself a game, didn't he?
He did. Another one.
He's stacking them. And that's the thing that's so cool to see, is that every week he takes things up another notch too.
Right.
He's going to be a terrorist.
I think he's set. Listen, we understand that he is playing with some of the twos, more of the threes, whatever. We understand that. But if he was playing bad against the twos and the threes, we would hear it in our mafia. Why did you pick this guy up? He doesn't have good feet. He's slow. He don't have hands. He can't, so the fact that he's doing what he's doing, and we're hearing praise from the coaches, from the fan base. I mean, I love to hear it, me personally, because coming from getting picked from having a bad back, and why he fell was because the injury, and he fell to the Bills, because if he didn't have this injury, the Bills wouldn't have gotten him.
He would have been a first-round pick.
Oh, for sure. He was touted as a first-round pick.
That's right. So it was to our good fortune that he did have this undisclosed back injury that he didn't even know about.
Right.
So it all fell into place the way it should. But Deon Walker, we all know how I feel about the one technique defensive tackles. They are priceless to the defensive line and their function. And we haven't had an outstanding one technique defensive tackle for a very long time.
Yeah.
Daquan, you're good. Okay. Yeah. You're good, but you're not a terrorist like we need at that position.
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet.
But you see the potential there because
For Walker, yeah.
did you see how he just moved the guy out of the way?
Sheds the offensive lineman, the 300-pound offensive lineman, like they're
Like
just
he
man.
was, get out, move out. Hey, you move over. Like it was nothing.
He's going to be and hone that body down, get those legs a little stronger,
Yeah.
get your upper body a little bit leaner, and this guy could be a terrorist on the field for a very
He
long
could
time.
be, dare I say, dare I say, he could be Ted Washington. That's the last big
A
dude we
more
had.
mobile Ted Washington.
Yes, yes, yes.
And that's the thing that's so scary about him. And I listened to Connor McGovern when somebody asked Connor McGovern, what's it like to go up against this guy in practice? And he's like, I'm telling you, he is a big, large man who is very strong and very nimble.
Yeah, yeah. Love to hear it. Another person that I think Bills Mafia has gone crazy over, was Cole Bishop. And can we put it to rest now? Is everybody sleeping well at night? Because if I heard, thank you. If I heard another, well, who we got besides, and what we gonna do, and he's not stepping up, he's injury prone. We have, and me, myself, and Robyn, we're included in this because we don't detach ourselves from Bill's Mafia. Sometimes I try to because when y'all act a little, we're gonna get to the irate. We're gonna get to what happened this week, and y'all flipped your wig. But we're gonna stick on Cole Bishop right now. You guys were acting crazy because Cole Bishop did not play or wasn't playing how we thought he should play or he should be in there. How did he look for you, Robyn?
Looked fine, which is why they took him out early. He went out there, he did his thing, he overperformed playing against backups, just like I thought he would. I think the hysteria was misplaced, to say the very least. And is he going to miss a few things early in the season because he missed a lot of training camp again? Yes. Yes. That's the issue. It's a matter of reps. He gets enough reps, and we'll talk about this later, some good mentoring
Yes.
as well. I think Cole Bishop is going to be fine. He's going to be more than fine. So there's no reason for panic about the safety position.
And I get it too, though. I get the safety position, not to cut you off.
No.
I get the safety position because, okay, they drafted late with the safety position. Maybe not what everybody wanted at that position. But there's also people pining for DeMar. He's good. He's that. And I'm going to have a question for you guys later because the people that is like, DeMar is good enough, or, why is this person here? I have a question for you guys because you can't have both. You want that guy is that, and DeMar, so, it is what it is, but we're going to move on because there was 53 players put on this squad, and the roster is shaping itself up. It's finally shaping itself up. We're we're seeing, I can't speak apparently, seeing what the Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane wants to do with this roster. And was there any surprises from you that the cuts went down and you were like, oh man, thought he was going to make the roster or even a practice squad and he didn't make it? Were there any for you?
As far as the 53-man roster, no. There were really very, if any, surprises.
Was it like 8 positions might have been like available, right?
Maybe. And the biggest surprise I found was that Trey White was not put on IR. I found that to be extremely interesting because it suggests that Trey White's injury, whatever it is, because we still don't know, is not horrible enough that he's probably going to miss more than, say, 3 games
Mm-hmm.
because they just put him on, IR for 4 weeks. Well, he didn't get put on IR. So I found that a little bit surprising. But I guess in a way, I can't be surprised about an injury that I don't know anything about.
It's so they're not even saying, they're not
There's,
speculating anything. They don't have to be quite honest. And we talked about this. They really don't have to say anything until next week, until the injury report comes out and Trey White has this, and then Benford has. Okay, this Benford thing, and I'm going to get back to my surprise cut or release was. This Benford thing has me like, huh? I needed rest. That's what it was. They said Benford wasn't out there because he needs rest.
a veteran rest day.
So he has one. He had one yesterday too.
Oh no.
So we already know that the Bills now is just this top secret agency that we won't get put in. We won't get
They're
any
really
inklings of
tight.
anything. They're tight. And when you were saying that there were always leaks back in the day, now there's no leaks back in the day.
The ship is tight, baby.
And now to this day, there's no leaks. So I mean, I get it, I understand it, but still, it's just like as a fan, you're like, I want to know what's going on. I know technically it's not my business, but when you're doing a pod, you want to know. Exactly. My surprise release was Derek Forrest. I thought the way he came into, the way they acquired him, I said, oh, we talked about him. We did a pod on this guy.
Right.
Hard hitter, didn't get the chance in Washington because the defense they got a different defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
so
they were in transition.
Right. So boom, young guy. I'm like, oh, he's gonna come in Buffalo. He's gonna be hungry. He's gonna be ready, whatever. And then no. He wasn't even on a practice squad. I said, okay.
It was a little surprising.
Right?
It was a little surprising.
But
in a
you didn't hear
way.
Yeah.
We heard nothing about him at training camp.
No training camp, no preseason, no nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
that was
a little surprising.
Yep.
A little surprising.
I agree.
To say the least. Our next thing that we got to talk about, because the Jordans came back, and the
brothers.
The Jordan brothers came back, and when I said Bills Mafia went back to, we'll bring back Fred Jackson, we'll bring back, a lot of people. It was a lot, and I get it. But what I do like about this team and Brandon Beane is that they keep the door open for players that they know could be good mentors or still want to play. And they were put on the practice squad, y'all. So we getting bent out of shape about practice squad people. And I don't know why. So Robyn, you got to help me, because I don't understand why Bills Mafia is getting bent out of shape for practice squad players. Help me, Robyn, help me.
At least I'm trying to look at it this way. At least we're obsessing about a practice squad instead of who's going to be the quarterback, right? We don't have to worry about any of that stuff, but we have to have something to worry about because we are Bills Mafia, because we are Bills fans. We can always find something horrifying to think about,
right?
Because that's in our blood. But I'm with you when the Jordan brothers reappeared. My first thought was, especially for Jordan Poyer, was, oh, he's going to be this year's Micah Hyde.
Yes.
It never even crossed my mind that he was going to be playing and that people were talking about him like he was going to be starting.
That wasn't even my first thought that Jordan Poyer is going to be a starter for the Buffalo Bills at safety. If that was my first thought, we got a problem. We have a problem in the safety room, right? But since everybody's bent out of shape, I have a question for everybody that's bent out of shape. I seriously have a question for you. I seriously got a question for you. So my question is, Jordan Poyer or Damar Hamlin? Which one would you rather have? So since we're all bent out of shape that Jordan Poyer's back, because there is a part of this fan base that wants Damar Hamlin shipped out to Pittsburgh, shipped out to wherever. So when you want him shipped out, so do you want, and those are the two options. You can't go and say you want the new guy that they just brought in. I'm giving you two options. It's either Jordan Poyer or Damar Hamlin. If you in the comments, you can comment. But we gotta relax.
That's not in our DNA.
It's not.
It's just not in our DNA. We have to make a histrionic mess out of everything.
And
but
Robyn's going to touch this, John.
Yeah,
towards the end, Sam. And I'm going to bring this back up, John.
Yeah, I want to talk about Sam. That's a good point. But back to Poyer.
Yeah.
Poyer or Hamlin is a really good question, right? Like, who would you want in that role? Somebody who flourished in that role, but is declining in terms of physical ability, or somebody like Damar, and this is no offense to Damar, but it's just the way it is. He takes bad angles. He's not instinctive.
And he gets beat.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And I get he had some good games. I get it.
So did Jordan Poyer.
Right.
He had some all-pro years.
Right.
So I have no issue at all with Jordan Poyer coming on the team. And I talked about this a little bit yesterday online in social media, and people were commenting about how he's different. They feel differently because I brought up the issue of what's the difference between him and when Micah came. Because when Micah came, everybody was like, oh, yay, good, we have Micah. Yay, he's going to be a mentor. Yay, yay, yay. Well, Micah's skill set was declining as well. Otherwise, he would be playing and starting and all that stuff.
But we kind of knew Micah was not going to play.
Right.
Because of his neck surgery, all of that. We knew as fans, we were okay with Micah not playing. And Micah, to be quite honest with you, Micah was like, yo, I'm just here to be in this outfit. I don't really want to play. But Jordan Poyer, in his mind, can still play. And he probably can still play. I'm not basing my opinion on Jordan Poyer that was in Miami. I'm not.
That's a good point. And it's probably not a good idea to do that because the systems are different.
Very.
And so Poyer is coming back to a system he flourished in. Yeah. He played his very best football in Sean McDermott's defense. Now, Sean McDermott's defense has evolved some, but he's still so familiar with the role of a safety. And we've talked about this before. Safeties in this defense have a very complicated role. It's not easy to just come in and pick it up. And I wonder if that's not what happened to Derek Forrest, that he wasn't picking up the role and function of the safety in this defense because it's complicated. So, yeah.
Good point, John.
Wouldn't you rather have somebody that has experience in that system than somebody that's completely unfamiliar with it? It makes sense to me. It didn't raise my blood pressure one iota.
And I think for us, because us as fans, we never had to think about safety room. Oh, it was Jordan Poyer, Michael Hyde. We don't have to think about our cornerbacks that we got to think about. Our front, that's what we got to think about. Our linebackers, that's things we have to think about. We've never had to think about the safety room at all because we had those two back there that was a secure blanket, and now we don't have that anymore. And why not bring a guy, Micah Hyde, who knew that defense, the back of his. Let's be quite honest. That safety room and that defense, Brandon Beaton, Sean McDermott didn't have to really say too much to them. They created that defense around those two because they were so good with what they did that they didn't even have to think about it. Now it's different. Even though Jordan Poyer might have took 2 steps back, right? Not 1, but 2. But still, he knows this is the area you need to cover, because if you don't cover this area, this tight end is going to do, like, he's going to give that to Cole Bishop. Cole Bishop just had Micah Hyde in his ear. Right. Now you have the other guy in your ear, which is going to be more, more pouring into that guy.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what the problem is, why people get so bent out of shape when you bring someone back. He's not taking a roll up on the roster right now. And if he did take a roll up on the 53 roster, then we kind of have a problem. But it's a small problem to have. So
it is a small problem to have. We have so many things that we should be grateful for. If we just go back 15 years and think about what it was like to be a Bills fan 15 years ago.
Yeah.
We had a lot that we could be histrionic about back in the day, but not now. Our roster is solid.
Yeah.
And now our defensive line is solid for the first time.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into later.
Yes. But moving forward, continuing on the roster, and so happy for this guy. Well freaking deserved. Well deserved. He's been working his tail off for the last 2.5 years, and finally made the 53. Terrell, yes, Schaefer's. Robyn.
Thank God. After that one-handed catch,
I said he sealed it.
I could just see his thought bubble, like, yeah, just try to cut me now.
No, try to take that ball, try to take that touchdown away from me.
Oh, that was a beautiful thing.
It wasn't even Josh Allen. It was
Shavers.
But no, the quarterback. It was Shane.
Threw it in there. Yeah, he threw it.
It was a beauty.
Which is another reason why I'm glad that he's a practice squad quarterback.
Yeah, I am too. I'm glad he made it as well. And we're gonna get to some of them. If I remember, we'll get into some of the practice guys. I two guys that didn't come back, but mostly everyone that we thought was going to make the practice squad made the practice squad. But Schaefer's said he found out he made the Bills roster. He never got a call, so he was like, then I must have made it.
That's the thing that's got to be so hard. It's like, oh, you wait, you don't hear anything, but it's like, did I make it? Because you don't know until you know.
Yes. Yeah.
So
thank you, John. Thank you, John.
Yeah. I just love Tyrell Shavers' attitude. He put his nose down. He didn't bitch and moan about not making it in the past. He just continued to work harder. Didn't he work with Eric Moulds in the off season?
I don't remember if he did, but if he did, kudos to him.
They've got a similar body type, and
they do.
The Bills will find a way to use him. And by the way, if you notice, Josh Allen really likes him and throws him the ball. So I think that the future is bright for Tyrell, and I'm just glad that all that hard work paid off. And they knew if they put him on the practice squad, somebody would snipe him, because
you couldn't do it.
Wide receivers couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Absolutely.
After that catch,
there's going to
not
be
even that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's going to be a big role for him in this offense.
Yeah. Were you surprised that they kept 6?
No, because they would have kept 5 if they could have found a way to trade Curtis Samuel.
And let's talk
But
about
I don't.
that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that there's any way to trade him because his trade value is next to nil because he
And he's
hasn't.
always freaking hurt or sick. He didn't travel with the team because he was sick. And so me being, yeah, he was sick, but were you trying to trade him somehow?
I don't know. There's a possibility because it would make sense, but I'm pretty sure that's why they kept 6 because they can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
If they get rid of him, if they just automatically release him, I think it's like $7 or $8 million
It's a
on the
lot.
cap.
It's a dead cap, yeah.
They can't.
So I was really shocked they did 6. I'm happy they did 6, but I was shocked because the first 3 we all knew it was Shakir, Coleman, and Palmer. Those are guaranteed 3. I knew Schaefer's was going to be in there somehow because I thought he beat out Moore. I definitely thought he beat out Elijah Moore. Curtis Samuel, I was on a bubble because of the fact that money. So I'm like, okay, that's a guarantee. So then it was Samuel's, Schaefer's. That's the 5. I just didn't think Moore did enough to be on the squad. Me personally.
He didn't. We didn't see much of him in the preseason, that's for sure.
Right.
And at training camp, though, I used to watch when he was practicing with Josh, and there seemed to be pretty good rhythm
It's chemistry,
there.
yeah.
There's chemistry there, and I think Josh has a lot to say with who makes the roster.
No, for sure, yeah.
At wide receiver.
But I also think your point here, John, is that Schaefer's is also a special teamers. So I think he would will have a jersey on game day because of him being that.
Yes. Activated.
So, yeah.
If anybody's going to be unactivated, it'll be Samuel.
Or Moore.
Or Moore.
Yeah.
Or Moore. But I think Moore has more. Moore has more. Moore has more.
Moore has more
in the offense than I think we saw in the preseason.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to jump on because I saw all the comments about Elijah Moore, and I'm thinking,
now, I have a question for you then. Do you think they were holding him back because of that, or
no?
Okay.
I think it was nicked up, and that was legit. There were a lot of players that got dinged up, and I think he's one of them. Plus, it just seems like, and maybe you can answer this for me, but it seems like there's much more secretive process going on before this Ravens game.
No, for sure.
Does it seem abnormal to you? It does to me. Like they're hiding stuff.
This year seems different because, I mean, let's be quite honest. This game can mean a lot. The first week, and I know people don't want to be like, oh, it's the first week game. It don't mean much. But it kind of does mean a lot if you're trying to get the 1 seed. Out the gate, you're going against someone that can potentially remember week 1?
With 3 rookies on the defensive line and 2 veterans that we're really counting on that are out the first 6 games, it's going to be a challenge. Yeah. And we talked about this last week. I have visions in my mind that this game could slip away from the Bills if they're not playing at their very best. And that's going to be difficult with all these rookies
out the gate. Mm-hmm.
Out the gate.
And speaking of that, we kept 4 tackles, 3 guards, 2 centers. Dwayne Carter survived.
I was surprised by that, to be honest.
I was quite surprised too, because I mean they went up and got him. This is that Kansas City pick right there. I'm really another surprise. Dwayne Carter for me.
Yeah, not a good way.
I don't know what's going on.
We mentioned this. We talked about this a little bit last week. The thing that I wonder about with him is what they did to AJ Epinesa.
Yes.
When you try to change someone's body composition, and Brandon Beane said and was quoted as saying that Dwayne Carter's path to the roster was playing one technique. and that is not his thing.
It's
He
not
played
his.
three technique,
Yeah.
and so we have an excess of three technique people, and I don't think that's a natural position for Dwayne Carter, and so maybe it can be, and maybe they're giving him this year because he was a third round draft pick. I don't know, but I hope we don't have to use him that much.
Yeah. And that's the one guy I was excited about when they
Yeah.
got out of their draft. That was the one player I was like, this guy looks like he can come in and start and make a difference. But then the next season, next off season, they changed his body type, and I'm like, he's like a rookie again coming in.
Mm-hmm. And it
So
doesn't necessarily work. I mean, look at what they did with AJ Epinasa.
yeah,
It took him 3 years to figure out what his body was supposed to be
because
like.
he came in heavy,
Yes. Then they made him take off weight, and he took
and
off
he
too
was too
much.
much weight.
So I don't know about this with Dwayne Carter, but it could very well be a similar situation that he's not used to playing at the weight that he now has to play at, because I'm sure, had to put on some weight.
Yeah, he's definitely heavy. He's heavy for sure, for sure. Our guy Trey White. Speaking of, we don't know what's going on, being secretive, and we have no idea. So Brandon Beane had his presser. He said we are rehabbing him as much as we can. He's attacking it. We are going to take it day by day, seeing how it goes. As we get into the next week, we'll see what it is and if he can practice or not. What the hell are you talking about, Brandon Beane? He just gave me a bunch of mumble jumble right there. We rehab it. We can see if he goes. We're attacking it. We don't know. Like, what are you saying, bro? My kids, bro.
And bro, this is just what he does. So they don't want to release any information. It's weird. This year is different. It feels a little different in terms of the secretive kind of nature because of the Ravens game being so important.
Yeah.
And they don't want anybody to know anything about what this defense is going to come out looking like, what this offense is going to come out looking like. And it's going to be different. That's the thing that people don't realize, how different this defense is going to look compared to the defenses of the recent past.
Right.
Because we have these defensive linemen now who are more aggressive, bigger, and badder. I think that we're going to see a personality change on our defense as a whole as well. It kind of leads into the next thing to talk about, if you're done with Trey
No,
White.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Because, girlfriend, you sent me this stuff. And I looked at it and went, what? So let's talk about the roster rankings. Who was that? Who put those out? ESPN?
Yes, ESPN put it out. I forgot the guy that did it. Maybe he was drunk when he did it. I'm not sure, but the roster. So I sent Robyn over a roster ranking for each team, 32 teams, and they had the Buffalo Bills as a quarterback. They had him as number 2, and of course they have Patrick Mahomes. And so when we do rankings, are we ranking them as a whole or as that year? Because I need to know how we ranking Patrick Mahomes. Because does he get an all-time number 1 because he has won several Super Bowls?
Yes.
Because do Super Bowl championship quarterbacks never have a down year?
Well, he's had a down year.
Last year
it was a down year. And
he was not number 1.
No, not by far. If you talk about number 1, the fight was between Lamar and Josh, and rightfully so.
So Josh is number 2 as the quarterback ranking. Fair.
I have a problem with that, though. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't care.
The thing I took exception to is
we're gonna get to that. So running back, they had them at 15. You know what? Let me put this up because I just want to see. Hold on.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I'm just going to say that the running back room at 15, I don't know what you're talking about in terms of consideration, because if they're doing roster rankings by position, if you're doing it by position and you then take all of the running backs together, I think that our running back room is one of the top 5 in the league because it's deep. Ty
Yeah.
Johnson, it could be a starter on other teams. So I think these rankings stink.
So the running back room for the Bills were what, 15, you said, right? And
Yeah.
prior to that, Detroit is number 1, which awesome. They can be. I think they have the best running back room. Miami is number 8. Okay. All right. Okay. And
What
I
are you
get,
using to rank these things?
I don't know how they do it, but there's just some. Philly is number 3. San Francisco's number 4. Okay, that's great. All right, we're 15. You have the top running back, which they say James Cook got top 7 money, top 10 money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you put, okay, whatever. Alrighty.
Moving right along.
Moving along, wide receiver, which I'm not mad at. They put the Buffalo Bills at 22nd. Fine. Do you
Yeah,
think?
I didn't have a problem with that either in terms of there's no superstars. That room is everybody eats kind of thing. And I didn't have a problem with that. I
Right.
just had a problem with some of the other rankings.
I'm with you, John. Rankings mean nothing if we win a Super Bowl. Absolutely, it doesn't. John, again, Brendan Bean was asked if he thought trade would be out for the first week. He said no. It's not counting. They're not counting him out. Yeah, but also too, John, I get what you're saying. But Brendan Bean has been like his wordplay. If anybody, like, Brandon Bean is very, very, when it comes to speaking about injuries or just anything in particular, his wordplay is excellent.
It is.
It's excellent.
He's very good at calmly telling the media it's none of your damn business.
Right? Or shut the fuck up. Like, in a nice, subtle way. So yeah, so I totally understand. But next is O-line. And here is my issue and Robyn's issue about the freaking O-line.
Thank you.
So the Bills are ranked 11th. I'll tell you the guys that's the teams are before the Bills. Philadelphia, I'm going 1 to 11 where we're at. Philadelphia, Denver, Chicago, Minnesota, Tennessee, Baltimore, LA Rams, Tampa, I'm looking at it, I can't say it, ATL, Green Bay, and then the Bills. Now, I know this. I know Spencer Brown, I get it. Y'all don't know who he is. We do. He might be one of the best left tackles, if not one, maybe
Right
top
tackle.
5. Right tackle, my bad. I said left. Right tackles in the NFL. I'll give him top 5. Give it to him. Deion Dawkins. What are we doing? Osiris.
Make it make sense.
And then if you want to bring the rear up, Connor McGovern. And I get it. He got a hiccup in the beginning, but it was no flaw. When y'all let Mitch go, it was no hiccup. And you got him at 11. Okay. All right. But these are the same guys that played with each other for the last 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last 3 years.
With very few injuries.
Yeah. And we're not going to jinx it this year.
No. Where's the wood? Okay. So
yeah.
Let's talk about them saying the defensive line is ranked 15th. I think they have to put question mark because this defensive line is completely changed from a year ago. Got 3 rookies. I'm good with them putting them middle of the pack because
Mm-hmm.
we don't know them,
Right.
right? We don't know what they're going to be like. I think they're going to find out what they're going to be like, and I think they're going to find out they're a lot better than 15th.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't like it, but I understand it because
Yeah, I get it.
you don't, you don't know. And we got rookies on that.
3.
You guys are kind of saying this is what it is from last year. I get it. Okay, awesome. Awesome, good. Thank you. And I forgot about that, John. Thank you. Only allowed 14 sacks.
Yes, please. And the turnovers, they create a lot of
Right. Thank
turnovers.
you. Good morning,
So,
Christian. Sorry.
good morning.
But yes, only allowed 14 sacks. I mean, and you know what? Here's the thing that I hear people say. You have Josh Allen, he evades all of that. Okay. But can you give it to the guys though? Can you give it to also too? These guys they're Deion Dawkins, Spencer Brown. They're good.
Yes.
They're good. So give it to them.
Some of those are
What is it?
lazy takes because they don't.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They
They
don't
don't
follow.
follow. You're right. Edge rush 16. I'm not mad at that. I'm not
Nah,
mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I
because
think
we
it'll
have
be
so many
higher.
unknowns. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
just having Joey Bosa, you would think would pull it up a little, but
Yeah.
whatever.
We'll see. We'll see. Linebackers 14. I'm not mad at that either, per se. I think also a healthy Matt Milano will be different.
I was going to say, wait till they see Matt Milano this year.
Yeah, healthy Matt Milano. This one right here, I think you and I are on different. We're this way because I thought cornerback was too high. It was 7th. I thought it was too high because even with the rookie and Trey White, my thing is you're playing with a vet, an older vet,
Mm-hmm.
and a rookie. And I know that rookie was very talented. So I guess they gave it to us off of that.
It does seem questionable because
Yeah.
they don't know any more than they know what the defensive line is going to be like.
Right.
Because
Right.
we don't know what's going to happen opposite
Yeah.
Christian
So
Ben.
you believe, I've seen this a few times. The most Greg Rousseau, the most he's had is what, 8 sacks a season? What's the highest sacks that he had? Is it 8?
I think that's right. I don't hold me to it, but I think that's right. In a double-digit sack year, absolutely, and especially
I will be down for it.
healthy, absolutely. I think he's going to be one that has a big year. I'm expecting big things from Rousseau this year.
And if that happens, he's going to owe Joey Bosa some dinners.
Many
for
dinners.
Sure. Special team. I think this is special team. Is it special team? Special team is 30th.
They deserve that.
Yeah, they do. Even in the preseason, you're just like, I know it doesn't mean anything, but damn it, y'all.
Ooh, they were terrible.
It was bad. It was bad. So overall, or is that this? No, that's safety room. I'm bad. That was safety. Safety room. They gave us 30th.
Fair enough. At this point, we don't know what's going on with them, and Cole Bishop hasn't played consistently enough. Neither is Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp was better last year. It took Taylor Rapp. It takes a lot of safeties up to 2 years for them to really learn the system.
Especially that Bills defense.
For the safeties, they have a much bigger role. They have a lot more that they have to be processing all at the same time. They have to think, finish each other's sentences, that sort of thing. And so until proven otherwise, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. You know who's behind the Bills, which is shocking. I didn't never think about that. Kansas City and Washington.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've never really thought about that. Kansas City. And I really don't. I mean, I do watch, football like that, but I didn't think it was Kansas City, but interesting. Well, overall, the Buffalo Bills overall ranking was 3rd.
Make the math make sense.
The math is not mathing, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
You know what that
Anyway.
you know what that says to me, though? It says that this team, and probably rightfully so, when you look at the roster at individual position groups, some of the rankings aren't very high. So how do you come to get 3 overall? Well, Josh Allen is the obvious answer because he pulls you up no matter what. But even if you take him aside, what this says to me is the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So in other words, the team coming together
Right.
is better than you would expect from just looking at the players who are on the roster.
No, for
So
sure.
that means to me, because I love to talk about these things, that there's a lot of intangibles. There's a lot of things that can't be measured that make this team much more of a threat than what their individual statistics show.
No, for sure. No, for sure. Absolutely. Shoot, if that's the case, and if that's what you see from this Buffalo Bills team,
I'm good with
I'm
it.
all for it. And it's just the beginning of the year, and like John said, yes, for sure, he does need more reps. And
He does.
again, what we've seen for the last preseason game,
I'm
I'm
good.
fine with Cole Bishop. I was fine with Cole Bishop prior to even that game
Same here.
because we've seen what he can do. And he's more athletic. I think he's more knowledgeable when it comes to space and how they want this safety room to play. And this defense, and like Bobby Babbage said, it's more of not so much high-low safety, whatever the case may be, it's playing in space. And who does
Right.
well with that is Cole Bishop.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And his instincts will come along as he gets the reps, people.
And
Let's just
gets
take the
comfortable.
reps.
You get comfortable in anything that you're doing in life. You can
Makes it
not
easy.
think about it.
Exactly. Play
You
without
know?
thinking.
Yeah.
That's what McDermott talks about that all the time, to be able to play free. You
Yeah.
just go out there and it comes natural. That's what we're waiting for from Bishop, and I think it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Robyn, you have your segment that you want to talk about, the new guy that the Bills
Yeah,
had signed.
this is just a final note. People should pay attention to the one addition to the practice squad that was a little surprising to me, is a safety by the name of Sam Franklin, who came from the Panthers, I believe. And this guy having an extra safety isn't going to hurt anything for sure. But this guy is a special teams ace. And that is why he was brought in. He's extremely versatile. On my timeline on X, Twitter, whatever you call it, I have posted yesterday, I believe, a link to an article about him. And it's worth reading because I believe this guy, when they signed him, they're high on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, John says he's surprised. I'm not surprised that Derek Forrest didn't make even the practice squad. And having said that, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that they picked up somebody that they thought would be good for special teams, because they need help on special teams. Our special teams has not looked very good. And
for the last 3 years, right? Or maybe 3, because prior to that, they were fine.
Right.
And then
they promoted coaches from within, which is always, it's a good thing when it's a good thing, but sometimes it's not. And in this case, I expect better things, and it may take a few games into the season, but I expect better things from our special teams because the new coordinator is a longtime special teams coach.
Yes. Yeah.
And that difference, I think, will be noted. But it's going to take a few weeks because special teams, they sometimes take a few weeks to come together.
My final note for sure. Hard Knocks happened on Tuesday. And you know what I really like to see is Sean McDermott looking like a hard ass. Because there's a lot of people in our fan base that think Sean is not that. And I like the fact that they snapped the ball, fumbled it, snapped it, did it again. He said, "All right, enough, run." I like that. I like to see that. Like, hold these guys accountable, because we hear it. I know I do. Like, the circles that I am, the circles I'm in, I'm hearing like, Sean McDermott, don't hold these guys accountable. Da, da, da. You just like, guys, okay. But also, these are the ones that do not like Sean McDermott.
Period.
So, yeah. Yes, John.
Yes, Chris Tabor. That's his name.
New guy. I think he's from the Saints.
He was coaching for several teams. I don't remember which teams that he coached, but he's excellent. And I feel more confident having an experienced veteran special teams coach.
Because it was Matthew Smiley, right? Wasn't it Matthew Smiley the last?
Smiley was one.
Yeah. Well, we don't have them no more, and I'm so happy, because I think the special teams, I can't base it on preseason, but the preseason was really nasty. Looking at that special teams, they're starting at the 45, starting at the 50. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, really.
It was bad. It was
tighten up.
Yeah, tighten up. It's time to tighten it up right now. And I was not surprised that our punt returner is, I can never pronounce his name. Condrington. Mm-hmm. I was not shocked.
He took most of it. He did it in the preseason most of the time. I guess the only thing that's a little surprising is they really try to get players who are versatile, and this guy is not versatile. He's special teams only.
Yeah, Levicius Chenault. Because he's a wide receiver and he's a punt returner. I was not, and I know, like, they love the first versatile. They like, you can play both. You can play, two positions, and you got to just give it to him. Give it to him. He deserves it. He deserves it for sure. But we're gonna get out of here, guys. That's all for us today. We are your lunchtime vibe, and we appreciate all of you coming through, stopping by. Yes, for sure.
And the next time we talk, next week, we'll be getting
into the Ravens game. We'll be talking about a game that's going to be happening.
Not just a game, Sunday. Like the game.
The game.
A huge
Week 1 against the Dogs, the Ravens. Next week, that's what we're going to be talking about next week. I cannot wait. I'm going to be nervous, because I always get nervous for games, but this one is... It's huge. You can say whatever you want. It's huge. They're coming back to Buffalo. Well, we took them out. We took them out the playoffs. Said bye. They're coming back and say, I want revenge.
They got revenge on the mind.
They got it. But you know what? Revenge is served the best.
You're ready.
Plate, baby. You already know. But we out of here, guys. Again, thank you. I am Robyn. She is Robyn. I am T. This has been Tea Time with Robyn on the Building Buffalo Network. We are out, y'all. But always, before we do that,
go Bills. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Peace, y'all.